Can anyone please confirm whether I'm audible to all of you or not?
You're audible, I think.
All right. So greetings of the day, everyone. This is a demo class of project management. So let me introduce myself. I would be the trainer for today's demo class. My name is Partha Mukherjee and I would be representing this class. So today we are going to understand about
You're
stakeholders.
audible, I think.
Yes, are you all getting my voice? So greetings of the day, everyone. This is a demo class. So today we are going to learn something about stakeholders. So let me share the PPT. Well, when we talk about stakeholders, so stakeholder means the person who are directly or indirectly connected with the people, or we can say they are having some values from the outcome of the project. So that's the reason any person who is connected with the project directly or indirectly and is getting affected or perceived themselves to be getting affected from the outcome of the project is known to us as stakeholders. Now, whenever we need to understand that how we can engage our stakeholders, so we need to categorize them. We need to prepare something where we can understand just who can do what, how we can connect with the other people. So when we try to do this kind of thing is known to us as stakeholders mapping. So today I'm going to talk about stakeholders mapping. So there are various methods, there are various ways how we can focus on the stakeholders mapping. So let us know something about a category of this. This particular category of stakeholder mapping is known to us as power or impact grid. As we can see over here, we are having power on the left hand side on the x-axis and impact on the y-axis. That means in this power or impact grid or through this power or impact grid, we are trying to categorize the stakeholders based on power and based on their impact over the project. This power and impact grid is a 2D model. Here we can see four quadrants from the left hand side: high power, low interest; high power, high interest; low power, low interest; low power, high interest. That means there are so many people who are associated with us when we start with any kind of project. But we need to understand as a project manager that how to connect with the people, how to get engaged with the people, or how we can engage the people. If we talk about the first one on the left hand side, that is high power, low interest. There are some high level people, high level person with whom, if we talk, we will get that the person is having so much responsibilities. If we talk about a VP of an organization or a senior project manager in the organization, that person is responsible for that project. Still, we cannot see his or her engagement throughout the project. Now, why? Because he or she cannot look after only on one project because there are multiple projects going on. So that's the reason those people are having high power. We can understand a VP, we can understand a VP of the project is having high power, but he is posing low interest over individual project. That's the reason we can keep that person in this high power, low interest category. So we need to keep those people satisfied. So continuously, we need to keep connected with them. We need to send all the reports. If we need any kind of information regarding some new thing, we can get to these people. And in time of any kind of need and help, we can connect to these people. Second is known to us as high power, high interest. Again, these are the people who are posing very high power. Again, these people could be the senior, the CXO level person. They are having very much power. They can change anything. They can help you out. But also in the same time, they are posing high interest on your project. So if we see this kind of people, then we can say high power, high interest. We need to manage them closely. In our organization, if we see any kind of manager, uh, who could be the functional manager, so those people are having high power, those people are having high interest. If you're if you think that your CEO of the company is having high power, normally he is or she is having high power, but also same time he or she is posing high interest. So you can put that person over here, manage closely. If you see that the person is having high power, still the person is having low interest on your project, so you can keep that person on keep satisfied. So things might get changed based on the behavior. Then comes monitor, low power, low interest. So there are also few people who are having very low power, and that's the reason they are having or they are posing very lesser amount of interest in the project. That could be any outside subject matter expert who already knows that that person is joining the organization in temporary manner. That person is not having any kind of power to make any kind of changes in the work or in the organization, and that's the reason we need to monitor these people closely. So low power, low interest. And on the right hand side, we can say keep informed. Low power, high interest. Now, there are few stakeholders who possess low power. They cannot make any kind of changes. They don't have any power to perform such actions. But still, they are having high interest over the project. We can say the activist group, the customers, the users, the competitors. So if we see these kind of people, so we can put these kind of people in keep informed. So this was all about power or impact grid. Likewise, we can also focus on other kinds of 2D models, which could be influence or impact grid, power or influence grid, influence or impact grid. So there are so many types of 2D methods through which we can categorize our stakeholders. Then comes another category or another way how we can put our focus on understanding the people. Now, this particular thing is known to us as 3D model. That is stakeholders cube. Why 3D model? Because previously we have seen that we are categorizing the people based on power, based on impact. But now we can see that we are categorizing the people based on three things. One is the attitude of the person, one is power of the person, and one is interest of the person. So this particular thing is known to us as power, attitude, interest. So 3D model, that is stakeholders cube. So let's first understand the people who are having high power, high interest, and high attitude. The stakeholders are the key players in our project. So you have to keep them informed and engaged because the stakeholders are actively involved and they needs updates of the project in regular basis. The owner of the company is the person is the stakeholder. So that person is having high power, high interest, and high attitude. And that's the reason we can keep these people in influential, active backer. These are the support for you. Then comes the people whom you need to keep informed. You need to address their concerns. You need to find ways how you can minimize them. You can engage them effectively and you can make them be on your side to get every possible support from stakeholders in project. Example could be the senior executive of your organization. So these people are known to us as influential passive backup. Then comes number three, the people who are posing high power, high interest, but low attitude. These people are known to us as influential active blocker. These stakeholders are, you can say, obstacles for your project. They are determined to block your project success. So when you deal with them, it's tough and often requires some stakeholders who can stand by you and can guide you to navigate through, you know, the project. So skills like conflict management can help you a lot. As example, we can put investors over here. Then comes another kind of stakeholders who are having low power. They're posing high interest and also they're posing high attitude. These people are known to us as insignificant active backer. If you want to save your project find out, then you can increase their power. So these stakeholders, you can say, are the friends and brings moral support to you. These stakeholders are not directly impacting your project, but it's good if you keep them informed. As example, we can put customers or users who are having faith on the company or the organization. Then there's another kind of category where stakeholders are posing low power, high interest, and low attitude. This is known to us as insignificant active blocker. Maybe the stakeholders don't care about the project much, but you have to understand the mindset and sentiment of those stakeholders and keep them informed about the project, but to minimum. Managing them is important to keep them away from your project. Even it takes time and effort. And keep my word in mind, do not underestimate these potential impact. As example, the local community group. Then comes the people who are posing low power, low interest, and high attitude. These stakeholders are known to us as insignificant passive backer. You have to keep these stakeholders informed, but do not expect anything from them. You can engage this type of stakeholders to gain their support by opting for different kind of strategies because they can become vocal supporters for your opponents. As example, we can put the local residents over here. Then comes high power, low interest, and low attitude stakeholders. Influential passive blocker. These stakeholders might cause trouble in your project, so keep them away as much as you can of your project and do not get into their interest. Be respectful to them, but do not engage with them directly. Example, the silent partners, the stakeholders from or the members from the regulatory body. And lastly, we need to talk about the stakeholders who are having low power, low interest, as well as low attitude. These people are known to us as insignificant passive blocker. From example, I believe you all will understand subject matter expert, basically the outside subject matter experts, the labor, these kind of people we can keep in this category. So this was all about stakeholders cube, the 3D way to categorize your stakeholders. Then comes the second 3D model is known to as a salience model so that we can categorize the people. So why we are considering this as 3D model? We are considering this as 3D model because as we can see, we are considering power, we are considering legitimacy, and we are considering urgency. So here we are getting so many types of stakeholders. So we are getting dormant, we are getting dominant, we are getting discretionary, definitive, dangerous, dependent, demanding. And if we do not put any person into these categories, so those people would be regarded as non-stakeholder. So let's focus on it. Let's understand this thing. So first, we would be talking about what is power, what is legitimacy, and what is urgency. So if we talk about power, this is the ability of the stakeholders to influence the project's outcome. If we talk about legitimacy, this is all about the perceived right or justification for the stakeholders to get involved in the project. And if we talk about urgency, then this is important and this is time sensitivity of the stakeholders claim. Now let's understand all about the stakeholders. First of all, let's talk about the dominant stakeholder. These stakeholders have fitted themselves in high salience. So these stakeholders possess high power, high legitimacy, high urgency. Who are these people? These are the project sponsors. Then comes dormant stakeholders, high power, low legitimacy, low urgency. These are the stakeholders who are having high power, but they are having low legitimacy and urgency in the project. So we can say the silent partner. Discretionary stakeholders. These are the stakeholders who are posing high power, high legitimacy, but low urgency. They are engaged in your project work, but not necessarily in extensive level. These people are the industry associations. Then comes the dependent stakeholders. If you talk about dependent stakeholders, then they are having low power, they are having high legitimacy and low urgency. Think about the stakeholders. If we take an example of a software development project where we need to design the UI, the surface, sorry, the interface, at that point of time, those people are highly dependable on the people who would be helping them by providing the graphics. Dependent stakeholders. Then comes definitive stakeholders. These definitive stakeholders are having high power, high legitimacy, and high urgency. When it comes to a new product launch, then we can say CEO would come under this category, the definitive stakeholders. Then comes the dangerous stakeholders. So from the name itself, somehow we can try to understand what it is all about. Dangerous stakeholders are the stakeholders who are becomes furious when it comes to a project. Every time these people seems very normal, but when time comes, they gets changed. If we talk about the activist group or any kind of community people who might be opposing to your project, you can include them as dangerous stakeholders. To some extent, you can consider your competition, company, organization in this category. Then comes dependent stakeholders. So we have already understood the dependent one. Then comes demanding stakeholders. So demanding stakeholder means these stakeholders having low power, low legitimacy, and high urgency. If we consider the labor union, then we can get that these are the people whom we can make into this category, demanding stakeholders. To some extent, as example, we can also say that if it's a construction project work, so might be the local resident can act as demanding stakeholders to your project. So these are certain ways how we can categorize or classify our stakeholders so that in time of need we can understand that whom to report, whom to seek help, and how to get connected with everyone in urgent manner, who are having power, who are having legitimacy, who are having urgency. Based on this, we can at least connect to the stakeholders to serve them better way and complete the project work within the time limit. That's it. All about the stakeholders and all. It was a demo class. Thank you so much. Before leaving, if any person is having any kind of query, you all can ask me by unmuting yourself. I believe no questions. Thank you so much. So we have already understood how to classify the people, how to classify the stakeholder based on 2D and 3D models. So let me show you the way how we can do that thing. So you all can focus on the template. So this is a standard template which I'm using, and this can get changed based on the domain, based on the need. So this is just an example of this. So first of all, we can see that the stakeholders mapping, and you can put the project name over here, the name of the project manager, date, and if you have any kind of version update, you can put it over here. Then we have to put some identifiers. So first of all, the serial number, the name, the rule, stakeholders type, involvement, anticipated issues, milestone, mode of communication, priority, activities, domain or category, date, due date, and status. So now if we talk about the stakeholders groups, so we can put the name of the stakeholders with whom we are engaged. So the people who are from project team or project management team. Then the role, likewise as example, it has been given over here, that is executive director, external stakeholder, right? Independent director, BOD, CTO, so CXO level you can include external stakeholder. Then comes stakeholders type, whether the person is internal or external, functional or technical, which one. So this category is completely based on your domain. It's a domain specific thing. Involvement. That means what is the level of involvement of that stakeholder in your project. So see this thing. If we talk about this person, Whale, he is executive director. So he is focusing on the technical department. His involvement partial, right? So you can put that person as per your understanding or requirement in the project. Known or predicted issues, data leakage in storage facility. At what point the stakeholders' involvement required at the end of the security control measure implementation. Right? Mode of communication, virtual, priority, moderate, activities, domain category. So there are so many things what you can include over here, and you can prepare this model, you can prepare this template so that in time of need, you would be able to understand that whom to seek, whom to take help. Okay, right. Now, Rishit is with us, and Rishit is going to help us understanding so many features and functionalities. So, Rishit, over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Partha. So I will walk you through the course details. Okay, once I will brief you about all the details and offering and how do we, help you prepare towards the examination so you could clear the examination onto the first session. Okay, so I will just share my screen. Just give me a sec. I believe my screen is visible to everyone. Okay, so in total, it will be 36 hours of training, okay, which will be based on two batch modules. One is for weekend and one is for weekend. On weekends, the classes will be on Saturday and Sunday from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. in the evening. And on weekdays, it will be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. Like that, it will take you around 5 to 6 weeks, around a month and a half of continuous training. Okay. And from the very first class, the classes like will be oriented towards the exam preparation itself. Okay. And throughout the training, you will be having all the credentials and study materials. I will walk you through the LMS ones. Okay. So you can have an overview. Just give me a sec. Okay, so this is uh, yeah. So this is how your LMS learning management system looks like. Okay, so in it, like the classes, the schedules, the percentile will be showcased like that, and all the upcoming class batch details will be, you can go through the upcoming batch details from the dashboard itself. In your e-learning access, you will be having all the credentials and study materials like recorded sessions, PPTs, assessment, mock test. So whenever you are self-preparing, you may take references from there. Okay. Numerous question banks, case studies, everything will be available to you. And a summarized PPT of the sessions and of the reference books and all the guidebooks, you will be having it available on the PPT in the PPT form itself. Okay. So uh, with each module, you will be having like PPT and study materials based on the same. Okay. You can go through the questions banks for practice. Project and case studies are there. So you can go through the live projects and, industrial based case studies. Okay, for any class, if you have missed, you can go through all the recorded, like previous recorded sessions from the this e-learning SS itself. Okay, so if in case you get to miss any of the class, any of the session, that class will be rescheduled by upcoming time, by upcoming week, or you may go through the recording, so you will have no loss of your training. Okay, and yeah, all the credentials and everything you will be having. You will be, moreover, you will be having uh, PM guidebook, you will be having PMI membership, so you will have the direct access to the official PMI as well. And you can avail some rich content available on the PMI itself. The guidance guidebooks provided by the PMI officials itself, as well as the reference books, will be available to your into your dashboard itself. This is the official PM guidebook which you will be having, and the reference books, everything will be available into your dashboard itself. And like that, you can go through all the credentials and study materials. And uh, yeah, also on the same hand, like as we said, like we do provide 100% placement support guarantee as well. So we are having our own job portal access in which all the upcoming placement drives will be showcased to you. Okay. And our team is there to do the necessary changes, to attach all the documents, and we forward your profile further for interviews. I will walk you through the job portal access as well. So this is how you can prepare towards the examination. Throughout the training, throughout the session, if you are having any doubts, any concerns, you can schedule a one-on-one meeting directly with our trainers itself. Okay. On your demand, on your call, you can schedule a call that is accessible to you. Okay. So like that, all the course details will be showcased, and each course that you would be opting for, everyone will be having their own e-learning access, their own separate portal, which you will be having. And all the credentials and study materials related to the same will be available to you. And uh, this is like the calendar. So the upcoming events and classes scheduled, you can join through here. Like we go through workshops. Workshops are scheduled, live resume building, okay, interview training, Six Sigma, like anything related to on the like which is scheduled throughout the month, that you will have the access to join all the workshops and all the events. Okay. This is the upcoming placement drives will be which will be showcased to you from there itself. And I will quickly walk you through uh, our job portal access. Just give me a sec. Yeah. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so here's our job portal access. In this, like you, all the upcoming placement drives based on the PMP certificate or for any requirement, it will be showcased to you in this dashboard itself, and you can plan, you can prepare accordingly. So if you're going to search like based on the project management, this PMP, as you are aware that this PMP certificate is globally valid and is recognized by all the MNCs and organizations. So any opportunity based on the PMP certificate, all those opportunities would be open to you, and you can plan. Like IT business, like project man. Here's these are all the requirements in which based on the PMP certificate, you can uh, apply for all these opportunities. So this is how you can plan, and our team will be there to help you out throughout the placement process itself as well, from the very beginning. So yeah, that's all. Like I have walked you through the LMS, and this is like Mr. Partha is one of our trainers who provide PMP training. So Mr. Partha, to you now. Is he available? No, he's not. Just a minute. Hello. Yes. Please, do let me know, like, if any one of you is having like any questions, any doubts related to the program or with the training, any questions if you are having, I will help you out with the training. Uh, any questions if you are having, Mr. Ravindra Rao, Mr. Praveen, Mr. Rajesh, Mr. Yambi, Mr. Sunil, Mr. Vijeta. Okay, let's so like for any doubts if you are having, we can connect over the phone call. Okay, you will be having my number, and we can connect over the over the phone for any doubts if you are having related to the training, and if any doubts if you are having, please do let me know. Okay, so finally, I will walk you through the fee structure, fee details. Okay. Uh, as we're running on the ongoing scholarship, so the basically the fees for the 36 hours of training is 14,900. Okay. And the fees for the PMP examination, which is going to be held by the officials PMI, the fees for the examination is 42,050 rupees. Okay. In it, you will be having the membership, uh, PMI membership for over a year of time. So you will have the direct access to the official PMI. Okay. And
and you can have, direct access to the official PMI, and you can avail any of the content available for you to, which will help you to prepare towards the examination. And then comes the the examination, the certificate fees. It includes as well as the membership, which comes up to a total of 42,050 rupees. And for the training that you will be going through the training, it will be for 14,900 rupees. So in total, it adds up to a total of 56,950 rupees. But as we are running on the ongoing scholarship, we are offering one additional course, one additional certificate of your choice. I will be sharing the list with you. Okay. So out of the list, you may opt for any of the course certificate that you are willing to go with. Let's suppose you have gone with the Lean Six Sigma Green Belt certification. Okay. So for the same, you will be having a separate dashboard as I showed you. The separate dashboard, all the credentials, access to the tools, everything you will be have available. And the certificate which you are going to receive, the 28 hours of training you will be having, okay, for which the course fee, the fees for the Lean Six Sigma Green Belt certificate is 17,500. Okay, you will be having this as an additional, as an complimentary. If you are opting for this, I will be sharing the list of 21 courses. So you may opt for any tool specialization, any of the course certificate of your choice. So any course or certificate that you are opting for, you will be having directly affiliated, the main certificate you will be having, which is affiliated by its governing bodies. Like for Six Sigma, we are directly accredited and affiliated with IASSC, International Quality Federation, IQF, CSSC, the Council of Six Sigma, okay, which will, you can have this certificate, attached along with the PMP certificate, and which will, greatly boost your profile, and you may look out for even better opportunities. More options would be open to you. Like that, it goes. And yeah, based on the same, our team will be there to do attach all the documents, and we forward your profile and help you throughout the placement itself as well. Uh, for any further questions, for any queries, please feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, I will be here to help you out with anything related to the program. Thank you.